So I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Julie.
We are moms and we are super basic. So grab your drinks. It's time to chat. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just to clarify, this is a brisk, not my alcoholic drink I have right next to it.
Mm. So what is your alcoholic drink?
Okay, so my alcoholic drink is Spellbound Peach IPA. I didn't even open it yet. It's a brewery in Mount Holly, New Jersey, and Kevin grabbed these for me today.
Are
So
you going to drink it or are you just
yeah, I'm
drinking
gonna
it?
open it right now. It's just gonna make a loud crack, I think.
Ooh, but that sounds refreshing.
I can smell the hops.
I would
What do
love
you got?
we're going to get to see your face as soon as you try it.
Whew. Yeah, that's
Okay,
got
so what's the verdict?
it's got, um it doesn't taste peachy.
I find that about all beers that say that they're like fruit flavored.
Yeah, I don't taste the peach.
They're liars.
But it's an India Pale Ale, so I definitely tasted that. Are you drinking the same thing again, or is this different?
No, this is different, right? That was the past 2 weeks I drank the blueberry thyme gin cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
This is a classic margarita that's just blueberry flavored. So I still had
Ooh.
some of the blueberry simple syrup that I made for that drink. So this is just, tequila, Grand Marnier, lime juice, and the blueberry simple syrup. So it's strong
Yeah.
but it's delicious. And I mean, blueberry flavored. We've got so many blueberries. It's unbelievable.
I also have extra blueberries, and I was trying to think of what to use them for this weekend. And remember when I made those blueberry scones a while back?
I knew that's what you were going to
I
say.
know, I'm like, I think I'm gonna make scones again because those were delish.
That's so funny because I also, when I pulled out the blueberries, because I have like frozen blueberries in here with as like ice, when I pulled them out and saw like 5 other freezer bags full of blueberries, the first thing I thought of was scones too. So I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna make them this weekend too.
we can both make them and have people vote on whose look better.
Well, the one time Mike really messed ours up. Do you remember when I was complaining about them?
Yes.
But then I made ones. I think he overmixed the dough. It was almost more like a biscuit dough.
Weren't you having like flour issues too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was at like the point in quarantine when all regular flour was like sold out everywhere. So that was either like a really like heavy whole wheat or gluten free. I forget which. We had issues with both in baking.
Yeah. Val said send her some scones to eat.
Send her some scones. I don't think they'll keep.
Okay.
Okay.
So for our quarantine check-in, if you're still quarantining,
We are.
um, what's going on with you this past week?
All right. So our dryer broke on, I guess it was Saturday morning. We were like getting ready to go out, throwing, a load of laundry from the washer over to the dryer. Already had like the washer loaded and started. So like all the water had already poured on those clothes. And I turn on the dryer and it's making this like huge loud screech noise, like louder than my microphone screech noise.
Mm.
And Mike couldn't fix it because he's really a pretty good handyman. He couldn't get it fixed. So we called like 4 places and no one could come out and look at it. We finally got someone out tonight. So
Ugh.
we're at Thursday night, almost a full week. And he fixed it in like 45 minutes and for like pretty cheap too. Mike was like ready to just like throw in the towel and go buy a new one. But I'm glad we didn't and that we got it fixed
Yeah.
because.
Did he
But
say
yeah,
what
in
it
the
was?
meantime, we had 2 loads of soaking wet laundry that
Ugh.
needed to be hung outside, and it's not warm here anymore.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's your like outside temperature right now or during the
Um,
day?
During the day, we're getting in like the 50s. So
Oh,
it
wow.
was like full sun Saturday, so everything did dry, but yeah, the underwear and socks we like didn't hang out on the line because and they were all like still damp in the house and nothing's soft if it doesn't go through the dryer. So
I
just
know.
I mean like first world problems, but also like ugh. But in the meantime, I bought a mountain bike. So I'm pretty excited
Ooh.
about that. I don't think I'm going to be like a hardcore mountain biker, but Liam's super into biking and Mike is also super into mountain biking. And Mike's been wanting me to get a mountain bike for like 2 years, but I kept going like there's no point if Luke's not riding bikes because
Mhm.
what are we going to leave him and the three of us go without him? But Luke got really good on his bike this summer.
Mhm.
So we got me a mountain bike and we went on our first family mountain biking trail trip on Saturday. So
That's
that was
awesome.
exciting and a little scary.
Did you feel like you were able to enjoy it with the 2 boys there? Because I feel like family bike rides give me, like, anxiety because I feel like I'm more watching them than, like, making sure I'm biking correctly or safely.
So sort of, because Liam's better on a bike than me, like hands down. He should be watching me and telling me what to do. Um, And Liam took off and I followed him, and Mike stayed back with Luke, who had a little more trouble. So me and Liam actually got done like 20 minutes, done the trail like 20 minutes before Mike and Luke did.
Mhm.
Um, and I was more nervous because I was getting used to my bike. I've only ever ridden like a road bike. Like we've done like those city to shore bike rides and stuff.
Mhm.
And those tires are so different and like the gears are different and the brakes have like different sensitivities and everything. So I was getting used to my bike and like wished that maybe the first time Mike and I had just gone out, the two of us. And then
Mhm.
on top of that, it had rained the night before and the leaves had fallen from the trees. So the trail in general was a little bit more slippery than it would normally be.
Yeah.
So I think that under more typical circumstances, I wouldn't have been as anxious. But yeah, I was pretty anxious.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Thank
then
you.
this week we had a really good week homeschooling. Like the kids worked hard. I was a little more flexible. I think this was our best week yet. I think everyone
Mhm.
enjoyed it this week. So I was just really happy about that.
Okay. Do you feel like you're finding, like, your flow, your rhythm with everything?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'd say that I'm finding my flow or my rhythm, getting my groove back, if you will.
Oh, Stella.
Um, but yeah, like I've eased up a little. I've tried to make things a little easier and more enjoyable for the kids. And um, yeah, I think it's going well. I'm happy with it.
Okay. Nice.
How about you?
We had a lovely beach weekend this past weekend. It was like perfect, beautiful weather, and at the Jersey Shore, it's not like super crowded anymore. So it's like September and October are the perfect times to go to the beach. So we had a really nice, relaxing weekend, which was much needed. Um, I ordered Halloween costumes for the boys, which I was telling you and our other friends in our group chat. So I have them linked up towards the end here. We have a Spider Man and a Batman. Um, and it was funny because I put Ryan's costume on him tonight, and Ryan's my younger one. And he like I pulled down the Batman mask a little over his face, and he like did not know what to do. He kind of just like stood there. And I also don't know if it was because of his mask or because Jackson had on his Spider-Man costume with his full mask on. So I don't know if he was like trying to figure out what was going on with that, but it was really funny.
That's
Um, and then I actually started running again this past week. I'm doing the American Cancer Society 35 miles in October. So I started doing that and I did like a little fundraiser on my page. So I raised $200 for my fundraiser and I'm going to get these 35 miles done.
Awesome. How many do you have done so far?
8.
Nice.
So I'm trying to do like 1 to 2 every day, but like the timing is just, I have like a small window right after school before I get the boys that I can do that. So I wish I could do more and like knock it out quicker, but it'll happen.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So, celebrity news. This was announced today, I saw. So, Catherine McPhee and David Foster are expecting their first child together. He's 70.
How did
All
they
I
get
can say is, like,
together?
could you imagine having a baby at 70?
So I was reading up on this and I didn't realize that like Mick Jagger also has like a 3-year old and he's in his late 70s.
Holy crap.
Yeah, because I was like, what is this? And they were just like, in the article I was reading, they were just like mentioning other people or other men in their later years that also have little babes.
I just can't even imagine, like, the sleep aspect of it. Like, maybe they'll have a night nurse or something.
I am thinking more of a like how as from the female perspective, how do you have a baby with someone that old? I don't know. Like that's a
I
big
also was
age
thinking
difference.
about that too. Like, how are you attracted to?
But also like how are his parts still working like that?
Oh, I thought man parts work until they're like 98, don't they?
I mean, like we might be getting a little too detailed here, but like is sperm still good? Like is there
Oh, yeah,
sperm?
sperm's good forever, I think, right?
No, like as so it's not like females as like you get older your eggs get,
Right.
worse. Like male sperm is always like viable.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Ha! Val said with Viagra.
So I also thought this was interesting. So he has 5 kids and they're all girls, but they range
Mhm.
in age from 34 to 50. So, like, his oldest daughter could be a grandmother.
Yeah.
He could be a great grandfather. This baby could be the same age as its grand niece.
Val said, I like the comments his daughters make about Catherine. What did they say?
Oh
I
no,
didn't
they're
see.
so funny. Yeah, Sarah and Aaron are right around her age. I think they're like 36 and 39 and she's like 38. So and I think they were friends. Um like they're friendly with her, but they like are very sarcastic about her being like a mean stepmother and like yeah, they're very funny.
How did the two of them get together? I don't know
I
their
don't know that. I
relationship.
mean, she's a singer, right? And he's a producer.
Okay.
So they're in the music industry, but
Okay. Interesting. And
yeah, I mean,
odd.
and he's got at least 3 ex-wives because his kids came from 2 different previous marriages. And then he was also married to Yolanda Hadid, which is
Oh
Gigi
yeah.
and Bella's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So he's got a lot going on.
And we got Brittany.
Yes. So Brittany conservatorship update. There was a court filing, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, and she wants to add another conservator so that her father is not the sole conservator.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge had asked her lawyer if she could sign a document stating that,
Mm-hmm.
and her own lawyer said no and used the excuse that I wish I knew the exact wording right now.
I know it was like that she doesn't have like the mental capacity to sign that. Like I forget
No,
what
they
word he used.
compared the mental capacity to like almost like someone in a coma. Is that what they compared it to?
Yeah, I forget what the word was that they used, but I know what you're talking about.
Which is so crazy because like I don't know, she's good enough to perform, but like
Yeah,
she
but
can't sign a
also
paper?
So I had questions because I remember when comatose, yes, that's what they said, comatose. I remember that before they had said that her lawyer was like hired by her father. So
Yes.
was this the lawyer that said she was comatose? Was it the lawyer from her father, or one that she had wanted to get like on her own, you know?
No, they never let her choose her own lawyer. So yeah,
Yeah.
the lawyer is assigned by her father, who's the conservator, which makes the
Mhm.
whole thing so like ass backwards. Like
Mhm.
he's controlling it and he's saying she can't. It's so crazy.
I mean, based on just her Instagram stories, she's clearly not comatose. I mean, she's also clearly not in a good mental space, but she's not comatose.
Yeah.
She's physically capable
She's
of
definitely
signing.
capable to understand what she's asking for and like what it would mean because up until I think it was like last spring sometime there was a co-conservator and that
Mhm,
person removed themselves because they were uncomfortable with what Jamie was doing.
mhm.
So I mean, I think it makes sense that she wants a co-conservator and I think she's totally capable of saying that she wants that. It's the whole situation is so bizarre.
It is. Do you know anything about like her sister's involvement? Like, did the dad want the sister to be the co-conservator, or did Jamie Lynn just like take it upon herself, or what?
So those are actually it's two different things. Jamie Lynn and the brother are executors of her estate.
Okay.
And Jamie, the father, is the conservator. So Jamie Lynn and the brother, all they do is they're in charge of making sure her kids get her money if anything happens to her.
Mhm.
They're not at all involved in this thing that her dad does that controls her whole life.
But Jamie Lynn was gonna be the co-conservator.
Oh,
Jamie
is
Lynn was
that who
gonna
she was
take,
asking for to be?
yeah, Jamie Lynn was gonna either take over completely or I assume be the co-conservator.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I knew that it had just been released a couple weeks ago that they added her as an executor to the estate.
Gotcha. It's just like all so confusing and odd. And it's also really scary
Mhm.
because, like, I mean, obviously she had that breakdown years ago, like
Mhm.
what, 15 years ago or something now. And like to think that you can go from that to having a mental breakdown and completely losing like all of your rights, right?
Right. Well, and I was even thinking about that. So, a couple of the podcasts that I listen to regularly recently did episodes on Brittany and like how she ended up here and all that.
Mhm.
And the timeline of how like when the conservatorship started and when she had that breakdown, it
Mhm.
was within a year of having her two kids back to back. And now I
Mhm.
have two kids that are a year apart, so I know what that was like. And
Mhm.
then after the second one was born, her and Kevin Federline split up like I want to say it was like 3 months later. And then she had the breakdown like another 3 months later after he
Mhm.
got majority custody of them or something.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I just think back to like when I was like postpartum with a 1-year-old and an infant. And if
Mhm.
my husband had left and then I had lost custody of my kids, like I'd have gone nuts too.
Yeah, I'd have a breakdown and be smashing windows with umbrellas too.
Right. So, I mean, like at the time when it all happened, I was like in my early 20s, like, look at this crazy chick. But like, I
Mhm.
didn't understand the context as a mother.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for
now, like,
sure.
yeah, I get it. I also would have had an umbrella and buzzed my head and like,
Well, yeah, and like there's so many other factors that are involved, like the paparazzi and like every like her, circle of friends and her family. Like there's so many
she
things.
probably had like postpartum depression.
Sure.
Even if she just had like postpartum anxiety, not
Mhm.
depression full on, like there and then to have all those other factors compounding it because a lot of people talk about I think it's the 2008 VMA performance.
Mhm.
This would have been about I think 10 months after her second C-section. And people were talking about how she couldn't dance anymore. And I
Mhm.
remember at the time being like, "Oh, look, she can't dance anymore." And then, like, looking back at the video, I'm like, "She's 10 months postpartum from 2 back-to-back C-sections a year apart." I'm telling you, 6 years after 2 back-to-back C-sections a year apart, that it still hurts sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, 10 months? They're lucky she, like, could bend over, like
I know. And like, yeah, yeah, that's a whole lot.
yeah.
Poor Brittany.
I'm
Free
very
Brittany.
close. There's an entire podcast dedicated to, I think it's called like Brittany Graham or something. I'm like this close to going deep and listening to every episode.
Man, now I'm gonna start listening to that in the morning.
We can give weekly updates on that.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Okay.
Where did you see this? Because I did not know this was happening.
Kristin Cavallari's story today.
Mm.
And I mean, I screenshotted that when I put this in. So she posted it probably, what time is it now? Like 9 hours ago.
Okay, so do you think when she posted the picture of her and Steven a little while back, that was like at something for this?
Yeah, I think so, or at least like a meeting, getting them
Mhm.
together for like the first time to talk about it,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I'm so excited for this. I liked Laguna Beach way better than the Hills, so all about
Mm. Who do you
it.
think is going to be on it?
Oh my God, I hope all of them.
Do you think your favorite Jessica will be on
I
it?
do not like Jessica. I hope Lo's on. She's my favorite.
Ro won't be on it.
You think she won't or she will?
No, I don't think she will.
I don't think
She
she
wasn't, I mean, she was a big part of Laguna for like the first season.
will. Right, because she actually went to college, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what like the second season was when like some of them went to college, right? But then like Lauren came home and right? Or was that like a third season? I forget.
I'm not sure. I'm asking everyone who was their favorite Laguna castmate.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't Lo everyone's favorite? No.
Oh no, I did love Lo. Casemate. Oh, I meant to say castmate, not casemate. um, See, I always mix up the Hills and Laguna. My
Mm.
favorite Laguna, yeah, I would say Low.
I don't think I watched The Hills that much.
That's where it got really good because there was Audrina, Justin Bobby, Low was on that too, Whitney,
Right, right.
Lauren,
Because the whole Justin
Heidi.
Bobby thing was like, bro wore combat boots to the beach, that whole thing.
Claire said she loves Low too.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
don't think Lo will be on it because she's got like so much of her own stuff going on. She's in New York. She has
Mm.
like a whole blog and lifestyle brand, and she like cooks, and I mean she's
Yeah.
doing all kinds of stuff. I don't think she'll do
Yeah,
it.
I'd be surprised if she's on, but I
Val
do
said
love
she
her.
loves Lo, but she was Team LC. Do you think Jason will be on it?
Yeah, I think he's hungry.
Oh
Or
yeah,
hungry,
he was on
thirsty. I meant thirsty.
Hungry. He was on The Hills, and then what was the spinoff with that they did more recently with Audrina?
Audrina had a spinoff? I know about The City was when, what was her name?
City, that was Elsie
Whitney moved to
and
New York, right?
Whitney. Yeah. What was
I
they
didn't know
had one more
Audrina had a
recently with
spinoff.
Audrina as the narrator, and Jason was on that too.
Oh,
I can't remember. I can't keep track of all these shows.
no, no clue. All right, Dancing with the Stars.
All right, so this week was eventful. So if you were watching Dancing with the Stars, please tell me what your thoughts were. Um, so everything was going smoothly, dances were going good, people were getting really high scores. Sky Jackson, who's that Disney star, scored like super high. She got like a 10 on one of her scores up from the judges. And then at the end, when they're doing the elimination, so they've all the couples out on the dance floor and they're telling, you're safe for today. You can stay for next week. So they told one couple that they were safe, who was Monica. And she was from Cheer, which I just found out that she was from that show on Netflix, I guess it was Cheer. So Tyra goes, "Oh, Monica and Val, you guys are safe. Go ahead on out." So they go out. And then like it gets down to like the final four, and Tyra like says like that. It was like so weird how she said that. She's like, "Okay, we're now the final two, like Anne Heche, you're in the final two, like you're the bottom two or whatever." But there were still four people on the floor. So like Chriselle was out there, Vernon Davis was out there. They were like, are we safe? Do we go? Like, what do we do? They didn't know what to do. Um, so then they were like, "Oh, Monica and Val, you're not safe. You're the bottom two. Come back out." And we're like, "What is happening?" And Tyra Banks was like, "This is live TV, people. This is what happens. There was the wrong name on the card. Like my control room just gave me the wrong name. So, mistakes happen and, we need to call out Anne and Monica, you come back out here." And I'm like, what? It was so bizarre. I've never seen anything like it happen before. And then I just hate that she like rushes the judges. Like she's always like, "What is your answer? What is your answer?" And then she gives like some like lame, unnecessary commentary at the end. So Heather agrees Tyra is crazy. Claire said Tyra needs to go. Heather said she needs to own her mistake and not blame it on technical difficulties. Agree, Heather, because it totally did not make sense at all that like she was like the name was the wrong name was called, and like it just was like so weird. Like I don't know if she just read it wrong or what, but it's like wasn't, I don't know. It didn't match up with what she's saying happened. So it's down to Monica and Anne Heche. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. So they all voted for Monica, who got like a really high score this past week in her dance. So Anne Heche was voted off, and apparently she like threw a hissy fit backstage about the whole elimination thing and how she was voted off and was not happy. So yeah,
That's
but
weird that she
Tyra's,
was, like, that upset that she'd throw a fit.
yeah, I know. I'm like, it's just Dancing with the Stars, but I mean, I don't know how invested these
Easy
people are.
lady.
um, so apparently people were really coming after Tyra on Twitter, and she like posted like an apology, but I'm like, she's not doing that well this season, and I'm curious to see if she stays for next season. Do you guys want her on or off?
I think we know that answer.
I don't know.
Okay.
So my favorites were, I really love Nelly. I think he's like really doing good.
Oh,
Chriselle,
what about the guy from Backstreet Boys? How's he doing?
he's good too. There's like a lot of really good people. Like Jesse Metcalf, he's really good. Nelly's good. Chriselle's good. The Justina Machado from Jane the Virgin, she's good. Like there's a lot of people are really good. So I don't know how it's gonna pan out.
Hmm.
We'll see.
All right. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all the news.
JK. Okay, so on the blog this week we had Go Get a Therapist, and this was by Carrie. Carrie is a therapist, so I thought this was a really interesting perspective from a therapist about how even therapists need therapists, and
Mhm.
just not to be ashamed because everybody can use someone to talk to, and like especially in these incredibly like stressful, polarizing times, um, just we should all be working to end the stigma around any sort of mental health issue, and everyone should just know it's absolutely okay to need someone to talk to. What did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I really liked her take on it and how she, shared kind of how she arrived at her decision to seek help. Um, And I did like how, and I think I had posted this kind of quote from it about, you only see a therapist, an hour over the course of a week typically, and you are with yourself 24 hours a day. So like you need to put in the work and really reflect and take the, strategies or whatever you're working on therapy and put it into practice. And I think, like, as someone who works in the mental health field with kids, and I know Carrie also touched on this, was that like you might find a therapist and go to a therapist and like not really connect with them and feel like, oh, it's not going to work for me. And like it's like having a friend or a partner, like you have to keep looking and find the good fit for you. So, yeah, I thought this was a really thorough and like a great piece on just getting help and how to kind of stick it out when you feel like you're not sure if it's right.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. Very good. Must read.
Hmm.
Okay, so I know that there's one of these shows that we're both watching. Also, I have to sneeze. I don't want to be like, no, I think I made it go away. Okay. I willed it away.
Okay, I'm watching Emily in Paris. If you're watching Emily in Paris, please give us a like so that I know I have people that are also watching it. And Julie, you watched it too, right? Yes.
Not all of it yet.
Okay, I think I have 2 episodes left. Bless you.
There it is.
Um, I think there's 10 episodes and I watched 8 last night.
I think I'm only up to like 5, maybe 6.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think. The last episode I saw was when the haute couture designer called her basic.
Okay, gotcha. Um, yes. So I love this show. However, the producer is Darren Star, who brought us all of 90210 and those type of shows. I mean, I don't know what else he's done since 90210 and then the reboot of 90210 and whatever that one was where they all lived in the apartment building. What was that?
Melrose Place?
Melrose Place. Like he did all those type of shows. So um, I loved it. I thought, and I know we were talking about this in our little group chat, that he it's like Sex in the City but PG and or not like super PG though. They say stuff that I was actually surprised that
Me
they
too. Me
I was
too.
like, oh, okay, they're going there, like vibrators and inappropriate language and like
Yeah.
sexual innuendos and everything. So I was surprised by that. I don't know, I just love the storyline. I think it's like an easy watch. Um, but
I agree completely. I think that it's like cute, fun. Like I'd put it in the realm of like watching Gossip Girl, like
mhm,
which is funny because they've referenced it in like multiple episodes.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like fun. It kind of like takes you out of like your life and like, oh, look how pretty Paris is.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like escapism for a little while.
For sure. I was like, why didn't I go to Paris after college and like
Right?
just,
Yeah, like I need to see that.
yeah. Um, what do you think about her boss, Sylvie? Is it Sylvie?
What about her?
And the guy Antoine
Anton.
or
Yeah.
Antonio?
What
Or
about them? I think he is attractive, but there's something about like Frenchmen that seems creepy to me.
okay.
Always.
Okay, so you're at the part you've like gone past where like they met and he
Mhm.
was like kind of flirty with her. Do you think he will like come on to her more or do you think it kind of ended after the whole lingerie thing?
Do you already know?
No what? No, 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 I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Um,
curious of like if they're gonna take that further.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it ran its course. Like he is attractive, but I feel like he's like she could do better. Is that bad to say? Like, I think like he's attractive, but he's much older than her. Like, he's not just
Yeah.
like attractive and like 10 years older. Like he looks like he could be her father's age. I mean, and people, that's fine and everything, but like she's in Paris and single. Like I feel like she could do better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I early on I thought that they were gonna take that storyline somewhere, and then I was like, oh no, like this would just really complicate things. So I hope that she doesn't.
I
Um,
know because I just want Sylvie to like her
I know. Yeah.
so badly.
Yeah. So Heather said that her TV is typically on Food Network or Hallmark. And she's just watching reruns, but she's waiting for Grey's Anatomy and NCIS. I'm also waiting for Grey's Anatomy.
Well, Heather, this is a super easy watch because the episodes are only like 20 some minutes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm currently reading Ellen. I always say her last name, Hildebrand.
That sounds right. Yeah.
She's like written like every kind of like beach read you could think of. So this is called 28 Summers. It's about a girl that lives in Nantucket, and
She 28.
what?
Is she 28?
No, it's 28 summers. So every summer, this guy that she like has this connection with, he comes to like for Labor Day weekend, and they spend every summer together for like Labor Day weekend. And it just kind of goes through like how their relationship started and what it turns into. So it's interesting. And I like they start each chapter with the years, like the events of the year, like the big like newsworthy events. So it started, I think, in 93 was the first year they referenced. So it's interesting to hear that, like real life, like news events.
Right,
So
right.
to think of like, okay, 1993, here's what was going on in the news or in the world. So, and it's like, it's real. So, like, I was thinking, like, okay, I was 8 years old here in 1993. It's like just interesting to hear the events like as they happened again.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay. I don't usually read that type of book, but like that kind of got me interested. Maybe well, I'm still reading like 3 homeschooling books currently.
tell me
I
about
will
the
finish
Catherine
one of them
Ryan.
this weekend, maybe 2.
Tell me about the Catherine Ryan special because she is the
Yes.
creator of the
Okay.
Duchess.
Catherine from the Duchess.
Yeah.
And so I actually talked Mike into watching her comedy special this weekend, which is a feat in itself. And even he was laughing at things. She's just really funny. Her delivery, the way she says things.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of the stand up was in the show. So if
Really.
you saw the show, she makes a lot of the same jokes. There's
Hmm.
some things that are like the same storyline, kind of
Hmm.
almost like she did an episode out of like a storyline. She did an episode storyline out of a joke that she made, kind of thing.
Okay.
But still, she's so funny. And even Mike was like, okay, this is funny because he usually like says that like female comedians are too much, which I think is like his man way of saying like they make him uncomfortable. But even he liked it. So I was like all about it. She's so funny. She has another comedy special too that's from like 2017 that I might watch.
So, question because when I finished watching The Duchess last week, I
Mhm.
noticed that she was like writer and producer on everything, and that her name was the same in real life as it was on the show.
Mhm.
Is it like based on true events? Do you know?
That I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so from her stand up, I do know that her daughter's raised in England, the
Mhm.
father is British. She didn't say if he's a former boy bander.
All right, so now you need to look it up because I know you love digging into
No, I
this.
did look it up and I couldn't figure out who her child's dad is,
Hmm.
which makes me think he's not a famous former boy bander.
Huh. Interesting.
And I don't think, well, I mean, she could have now, but I don't think she's had a second kid. Because that
Mm,
was like the whole premise of the
yeah.
Duchess was whether or not she wanted to have a second child.
Yeah. Also, Dr. Evan, the end of that, I was like, whoa.
So
Wow.
angry at him, right?
Yeah. I was like, wow, you just lost all respect. And I'm glad that that happened.
Hmm. Yeah, he ended up poopy head.
I don't want to ruin anything, but
Yeah. And
okay.
so I did finish The Wilderness of Error. I talked about it a little last week because they had released the first 3 episodes last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, and then the last 2 episodes last Friday. And I mean, it's like so crazy because I'm still like, I don't know if I think he did it or not. I think he did it. I think he did it. That's all I'm gonna go. I think he did it. I don't know if anyone watching has watched it. I know Val had started it. I don't know if she finished it, but I would love to know if anyone else thinks he did it or not.
Val just commented about the Duchess and said, seriously, F Dr. Evan.
F. Dr. Evan. Well, Val, do you think Jeffrey McDonald did it? What do you think?
So wait, how long did you say you finished it or you're almost finished it?
No, I'm finished. There were 5 episodes, so I only had to
Okay.
watch 2 last weekend. But wait, let me tell you what Mike did. I was so mad at him. He claims Liam did it.
Mm.
So we watched the 4th episode. And then between the 4th and the 5th, I got up to go to the bathroom. And while I was in the bathroom, all of a sudden I heard like an interview starting. So I like come out of the bathroom and it picked up at like a spot where it made sense. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess like he skipped the credits.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 minutes later, it ends. And I was like, Mike, and it's so funny because even Liam goes, that was a short episode. I was like, wait a minute. And then I'm like, no, it wasn't a short episode. It says here it was 50 minutes. And then I'm like, Mike, when I went to the bathroom, it was 8:30. It's 8:47 right now. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, so then I rewound it and we had missed 40 minutes of it. So I think he probably tried to skip the credits while I was in the bathroom and it like kept going and then he just like hit play wherever. But then I found out like the end before the other stuff and I was so angry because I had already invested like 5 hours in this show. I was very mad.
So Val said she's finishing episode 4 now and she's on the fence. She needs more info about the girl with the floppy hat.
Okay. Now we'll talk. Okay. So I actually made something this week. Okay. So we do farm share here, which I don't know. Like, I don't remember that being a thing in New Jersey, but I think it's a thing anywhere. I think you can do it. It's called like
Yeah, I think you can do it in
CSA.
New Jersey now.
What was that?
I said I think you can do it in New Jersey now.
Yeah. So we put in like money into the pot kind of at the beginning. The farmer uses that money to buy seeds. And then throughout the summer, we get like a weekly pickup of like fresh seasonal local fruits and veggies that they grow on the farm. Well, we got 2 delicata squashes and I had never made them before and I had no idea what to make with them. So I Googled recipes and I found this delicata squash and black bean tacos.
Huh.
And I literally cannot put into words how good they were.
Interesting. Now, what's like a delicata squash? Like, what's the difference between that and a normal squash?
Okay, so I would say that the texture is closer to a summer squash, but the
Hmm.
flavor is sweeter like a butternut squash. So it's like
Okay.
kind of in between the two.
So, but what does it look like?
What do you mean?
Like, what color is it? What shape? Like, is it like a green squash that's
Oh, before it's cooked? Because like in
yeah.
the picture, it's the little like half.
Yeah.
Okay. Before it's cooked, it's the kind that have the stripes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a yellow?
Do you want? I have one on my shelf. Do you want me to go get it?
Sure. Yeah, I need a
Be right
visual.
back. Let me go get a squash.
I'm just curious if it's like a zucchini squash or like a.
Okay, this is our remaining delicata squash that I
Yeah.
will probably make these tacos with again because they were so good. Like, I honestly cannot even explain how good they were. Now, here's the thing. I thought we had that's supposed to be goat cheese on them, and I thought we had goat cheese, and we didn't have any more goat cheese. So we actually had them with no cheese at all because it really just didn't feel like cheddar would go with it.
Mhm.
And they were still good without cheese, which is crazy for tacos, right? Tacos
Mm.
usually need cheese. And then there's no meat in them, and I had them on corn tortillas. So if you leave out the goat cheese, they are dairy free, meat free, gluten free.
Ha.
Yeah. And they were filling too, because squash is filling. But I mean, if you could put them on flour tortillas and then they just wouldn't be gluten free. And you could put
Yeah.
them on, or you could put the cheese on them and then they wouldn't be like dairy free, but they were still so good.
I might have to try them.
I would. So good.
I'd have to sell the no meat though to the
I'm
family.
telling you, Mike was full after them. He ate three.
Okay.
But yeah, the combo of like the beans and the squash was definitely filling enough.
Alrighty.
Also, Mike had his on flour tortillas, which I do feel like are more filling than corn tortillas.
True. Okay.
Okay, meme
Fire
time.
memes. It was really hard to pick a meme tonight because all of
Such
my
great meme
favorite,
content out there lately.
I know, my favorite memes right now are the fly memes.
I know
So,
there was almost like too many of them, and then I also don't like to get like political about it. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm here for a good like opportunistic meme any day. Like
Safe.
I can agree that a meme is funny whether or not I agree with the content of it.
So I went with Old Faithful, um, Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. I miss the days when this was the biggest debate people were talking about, and that is, are you Team Backstreet Boys or Team NSYNC? And I love because I've never seen, I guess, these pictures before that they're all wearing and like standing the same exact way and wearing the same color shirts. I've never seen these pictures like
But
in the
did you
past
notice
20
the
years.
one big difference?
No, what is it?
The NSYNC guys are smiling and the Backstreet Boys are mean mugging.
Mean mugging.
They are. Okay, wait. So Val, are you still here? Because if you listened to Not Skinny Not Fat podcast this weekend or this week, you know that Amanza from Selling Sunset dated JC Chazé, and I did not know that until I
Oh,
listened
that's
to the
right.
podcast because we all knew that she dated Tay Diggs, but we did not know that she dated JC. And I don't know about you guys, but I was team JC when I was in grade school.
That's true. I was Justin Timberlake and JC.
Yeah, like Justin was my second favorite,
I did
but
start
JC was my number one.
I did start listening to that podcast. I didn't get through it. I didn't get through the whole thing. But I did not know that JC dated women. Like in his older years.
Maybe he only dated women then. I know Lance does not date women, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. But
Wait, does AJ is the one that's on Dancing with the Stars?
Dancing with the Stars, yeah.
Does he still look the same? I feel like he would look.
Uh, yes, but he's completely bald, like shaved his head bald.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
All right. So my meme for this week is exactly how I'd said. I don't need to relate to something because those of you that know me know that I have no skincare routine. I never have. I've tried so hard to start skincare routines and I just can't do it. And I wash my face with the bar of soap in the shower and that's it. I thought this was so funny. It said, I do skincare, but my skin doesn't care. I
I
just
like
think a
that.
good play on words.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. So, online shopping, you know how I roll. I go weeks without ordering anything, and then I order everything under the sun in one day.
Was this all on one Amazon order?
Yes. So I got myself a frother. I'm very excited because I am all about making my own matcha lattes. And
Mhm.
the thing that's been missing, which I feel like it's okay to be missing it in the summer when you're doing like an iced latte. And you just pour like the cold milk on top. But now that we're transitioning to fall and it's warmer weather, I want my frothed milk on top of my latte. So I'm really excited for that to come. I
Mhm.
also let the boys each pick out a composition book with something on the cover that they like. Luke's all of a sudden really into like wooden trains, which is cute, but also I'm kind of like, aren't you a little old for this? Like,
Mhm.
don't kids go through a trains phase when they're 4 and you're almost 8? But he likes it, so I'm here to support him and get him a journal with a train on it. And Liam picked one with narwhals and rainbows, which is so Liam. Liam, like, we go to the store and I let him pick out a toy and he gets like My Little Pony. He's adorable. Also terrible. He's the worst.
Don't say that.
I mean, like, he like curses and gets hurt all the time, and he's like such like a tough kid, and then
Mhm.
loves like baby dolls. He made me look up Barbies the other day. He wanted a Barbie that turns into a mermaid. Anyway, so they each got to pick out a journal. This week, I think one of the reasons why homeschooling went a lot better was because I switched what we were doing for writing and I'm letting them choose what they write. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to let them like dictate it to me and I'm going to write it like nicely in a nice journal that they'll have that they can look through.
Mhm.
So that's what those are for. And then I also ordered their Halloween costumes. So Liam's going to be Harry Potter. I also ordered him something that he's been asking for forever that I told him could be part of his Halloween costume. I don't know why I didn't put it up there, but it's a Harry Potter invisibility cape. So he's going to wear that as part of his costume.
Cloak. It's a
So
cloak.
is it cloak? They say cape. It said cape, I think.
Well, the Harry Potter terminology, it's the invisibility cloak.
Cloak. Oh, okay. I said the wrong thing. So I got him the glasses, the tie, and the wand, and then we have like a button up and a blazer and pants that he's gonna wear, and then the cloak. And then my Luke, who's the sweetest little thing in the world, decided he wanted to be Santa, and his reasoning for wanting to be Santa was that he wants to make Santa laugh. And I just thought that was the sweetest, cutest thing I've ever heard.
Aw. Well, continuing with how I'll just jump right into Halloween costumes. So I got our costumes from halloweencostumes.com or something like that.
Sounds great.
Um, and they came really fast. Like I think I ordered them on Tuesday and they came today. So I was really like, I was shocked how fast they came. But I got Jackson a Spider-Man costume. It's got like the muscles in the chest, which he just thinks is the coolest thing ever. He tried it on tonight. Um, and it's got like the full mask. And then I got Ryan, the little Batman costume. So it's really cute. This is like the first year I haven't made their costumes. And I
Okay.
feel like it's because Jackson's like at that age where he wants to be a superhero, and I can't make a Spider-Man costume. Like, I'm not
Do you know my kids have never asked to be superheroes? We've never had superhero costumes.
really.
Yeah. And I think this is the first year Luke hasn't been a dinosaur since he was like 3-year-old pre-K. I think. He's been a dinosaur every other year.
Yeah, he's really into the superhero thing right now. So Jackson picked out Spider-Man and then he picked out Ryan's costume because he was like, I want, because I was like, there's not really a pair that goes with Spider-Man. So I told him that he could pick out Ryan's costume and he picked Batman. So that's what they're being. And then I got a few things for myself. I got a new pair of slippers, which I'm really excited about. My slippers were like donezo. I needed a new pair. Um, I got a few things that are Madewell. I don't know if anyone's ever tried that brand. So I got a jeans and this like really cute little cream cardigan that has like little balls on the sleeves.
I
So
like it.
really cute, and I'm still waiting to get them. But just, did a few things for me. I switched over my summer clothes and I feel like I'm like at that point where I'm like, I have nothing. Now I need to shop because I don't like any of my clothes anymore.
I feel that all the time.
But thanks for coming back for another week of Mom Chats. And thanks for sticking around through all the technical difficulties. So we'll still keep working to try to figure this out and how to have it the best it can be. So thanks for checking us out and come back next week for another Mom Chats on our Lonely Mom group. Thanks so much. Bye.